Heavenly Father, thank you so much for blessing this club with visitors and guests and all the people that are here today. You know that we are here to serve this community based on your guidelines. We just ask that you continue to bless this club. Bless the people in this room and the people who can't be here either because of travel or because of illness. Heal them and bring them back to us. Bless this food to our body. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Hal. And then David Hammond is going to do our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and then we have Marilyn.
My country, 'tis a free, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims ride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Okay, you may be seated. Thank you, and good afternoon. Let's start with the guest introductions, please.
Hey, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. We have some guests from Castle Rock Lions that I would let Marilyn introduce.
And they're sitting together.
My fault. President Carrie and fellow Lions and guests, I would like you to welcome Castle Rock Lions President Patty Moulton. Castle Rock Lions Treasurer Linda Knowles. Lions Sandra, she's a program chair, I think she was dubbed that, so we'll have to give her some suggestions. Please welcome Castle Rock Lions. Also here, maybe we could do that a little bit later in the meeting to share their new sales.
Okay. All right.
Next speaker that we'll let begin introduce. Thank you.
Okay. That sounds good. And do we have, we've got one more?
We got another guest that signed in. Introduce her, Bart.
Yeah, Mark's just go ahead.
They're looking for a name.
Lions and guests, this is Lynn Peterson. She's
Mark,
shouting out
can you introduce
Service
the
Club.
other guest?
Okay, did we get everyone? Jay, we're good? Okay. All right, how about a sunshine report, Penny?
I sent a thinking of you card to Ron Stockler, and I also have a card back here for Gary Henthorn. He's having multiple medical issues, and it's pretty serious. So if you know Gary or not, please sign the card.
Okay, thank you so much. So we can move on to our happy dollars. Penny, are you by yourself today? Oh, Stephen. Well, there you are with the bucket. Okay. All right, you're good to go.
Treasurer Pat Palmer.
President Carrie Ann is truly like being alone, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there he is. Sneaky little guy. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, $5 happy from last week for not having a look at you.
Mike, how long would you like for your presentation?
I can tell you that Alaska is doing just fine.
Yep, sounds good. I'll put 10 down. Thank
It
you.
does not have a lot of Grey Goose vodka left on it. The
That many
Texas
words.
weekend was
Okay.
I may have exceeded
I've
the
got a
20
couple
drink
of
limit.
pictures
Oh, well.
squared away.
Great time.
Okay.
And there may be
Super
questions.
great. Everybody, if you've
Okay,
never done the
gotcha.
And I've got
inside
something I'm
passes,
gonna
you
give
should do
you
it.
at the end.
It kind of changes
wonderful.
your
Okay,
idea
that
about
sounds
the
great.
scale of the world. There was a point at which there were 5 cruise ships all in the glacier, and they all looked about 1.5 inches long compared to the glacier. The scale was amazing. The second cool happy part is that Hal and I's dad had worked on the Skagway White Pass and Yukon Railroad during the 40s after he came back from helping the government in Europe. They sent him up there to help on this train, and so it was a wonderful time to reconnect with my dad. Let's see. The next part, the third happy buck, is definitely going to be about, going to Seattle on a Saturday morning, especially when it's apple cut day. It took an hour and a half for the line to the bathroom. I swear to God, people stood in lines everywhere. It was an hour and 10 minutes to get from Kirkland to West Seattle at 1 o'clock after the game had started. It was crazy. Fourth happy buck, of course, is going to be for those great Cougars and their win.
Thank you.
And let's see, the fifth happy buck has to be actually in back. I did kind of miss you all.
Fellow Lions Wayne.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and Jets, here's another happy $2 bill. First one is for, good to see our Lions friends from Castle Rock here. And the other one is near the end of July, I had a big fire in my backyard on the 100-foot of my fence burned up. And so insurance did not help. I've been busy rebuilding the fence, it's done, and 8 yards of bark dust. And so I'm all wore out, but it's done.
Good.
Jill, post a picture.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and Jets. I have kind of an informational dollar. We had Relay for Life on Saturday at the lake. And to me, it's more raising the money for cancer research than doing everything. And we raised, as a Lions group, $3,595.
Wow.
And that is from your desserts, really for the last 2 years. And then we only had 3 on our team, myself, my neighbors. Hopefully next year they'll have more teams. This year they only had 15 teams. So they didn't have, and some of the teams only had 2 or 3 people. But we'll be probably involved again next year in it. And right now we're in 6th place as raising money out of the 15. So not bad, I don't think.
Good job. No, thank you.
Good job.
House President Cindy Sessions.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and Jets. I have some, I don't know what I want to call the dollars. Started off the first of the month going to see Dr. Tack, and now I have to get cataract surgery scheduled.
Oh, geez.
Fast forward to the same week, I go to the hearing specialist because I got water in my ear. To be told I need a hearing aid. So I don't end up going to any more doctor's appointments.
Boy,
That's what happens when we get old. House President Cheryl.
Thank you, Minnie. President Carey, fellow Lions, and all you wonderful guests, wherever you are. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see you. That's okay. This first dollar, happy dollar, is for that probably 1,000+ miles I put on that black little buggy of mine out there in the parking lot during vacation. I've been gone for a month. So the second happy dollar is just, I'm so glad to see you all. So glad to be back here. Feels like I've been gone a year. So, thank you.
We all look great right now.
Fine, Bob. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Next week, we won't be here, my wife and I. Because. We'll miss Penny. Understood, not a problem. Anyway, our 3 kids will all be home together for the first time. I don't know when.
You can bring them here.
We're all going down to the beach together for a few days, so we won't be here. All right.
What he's not telling you is they're here because we're celebrating our birthdays, which are going to be in October, and we will be 75.
Oh,
I can't
wow.
believe it.
We'll save you singing till October.
Yes.
Past Zone Chair Terry Woodruff.
King Lion, Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Got a couple of happy dollars. The first one is, went and saw Eileen Reineke the other day at Americana. She's doing a lot better than I thought she was doing before. And so she's looking forward to getting out of there, but she's still got to do some stuff to get discharged. At the point when they do discharge her, she'll probably go to Sunset, from what I understood. Anyway, the other happy dollars is Go Cougs.
That's on Chair John. That's President John. I stand interrupt. Yeah, okay.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. The reason my only friend, John Krazunas, isn't here today is he's transported his wife Patty down to Kaiser Interstate for a double eye operation for cataracts. And they're such partying people, they're just going to stay down there tonight because she has to see her surgeon tomorrow. To make sure everything well. Anyway, that's where John is. And if anybody finds Syrian, tell him he missed our table.
He's right here.
Stole my chair. I think he did it on purpose.
Maybe he was smarter than he used to be.
House District Governor Mike Parker.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I can call that a hopeful dollar. I got a call from Bill Claudius the other day, and hopefully Paula will bring Ron Stopler to the meeting Thursday night. As council chair, Al, what's a fiver?
Hey,
He's got something to say.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Guess who I'm taller than? Oh. This one's about as tall as my wife, so that's what works out. Happy dollar. Can you name who's in first place in the Pac-12?
Pac-12.
Hey, they so call themselves Pac-12. That was an amazing game. I was just sitting there going, remember last year when we almost beat them in the last minute? You know? And then they got to go play some other silly game that they blew. That would be the Huskies that blew it last year. Yeah.
At least they got to play in it.
Yeah, yes they did. They got to play in it. Other happy luck is I'm glad my brother's back so I don't have to be texted all the time to make deliveries. But it's been fun. Everybody at the office missed you. Did you notice that? No. That's what I thought. Yeah. The other happy dollar is, let me see, what was that? Oh shoot! I was able to get a big pile of paperwork done that I've been putting off, so that always feels better. And my wife's been out in the gardening again. It's just like it's crazy. But it is good to see Lynn visiting us, and we can find out much more about us. When's orientation again?
Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night. You can actually come and learn a lot about Pioneer Lions.
Past District Governor Mark Kelch.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. First of all, why didn't the lifeguard save the hippie? Because he's too far out, man. 16 last Thursday, and she's now thriving, so he was actually passionate out there. $7 on multiple accounts, missed the debate Wednesday, missed day of carrying Thursday, missed Relay for Life Saturday. Happy for all of you Lions to be part of my Lions family. I appreciate that.
No quoting, huh?
Yeah, but you have notes, and the bottom of it says, and an arrow pointing to the back. This week's quote of the week from Og Mondino.
It's not memorized.
Looks like it says Adidas. Love doesn't sit there like a stone. It has to be made like bread, remade every day, made new.
We love you, Mark.
I forget your previous title. Which Pat's Zone Share grade first.
Yeah.
I know his name, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, a couple bucks a day. The first one, tomorrow morning, take flight to a vascular surgeon down in Southwest Medical, find out what we're going to do about her side. And the second one, Penny alluded to Gary Henthorne about his ailment. Gary is in really rough shape. His blood count was way out of whack, and he's got one of 3 different kinds of leukemia and possibly lung cancer. He's not doing good, and I don't know if Gary could have pulled us through.
Another note on that is what I was told was the prognosis is very poor, and they didn't give him any options.
Anybody up here?
A big guy.
You have something besides fellow Lion program chair? Is there another title I should know?
No.
No? Brian Middlefield.
The big guy.
Coach.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, one happy buck because original guest speaker fell through. So yesterday, 1 day notice, and so I got on the phone and called my friend Mike Barbee, and so he's here to talk about the Central Sandlot, just like they did 1 year ago. So thank you, Mike.
We're done.
Okay, well, let's bring Ryan on up so he can introduce our speaker to us.
Lion.
Spell that.
Roar and lion, lion,
Very
Lion Littlefield, that's good.
good.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, it's an honor to introduce my friend Mike Barbee. The first time I met Mike was probably at St. Rose because I was a handful of years younger than his son Sam. And so I started seeing this face around everywhere at St. Rose, at Central Little League, and everywhere through my entire life because what I've learned is that Mike's one of the good guys. He's always volunteering, giving up his time. Even now when he's retired, when he could be kicking his feet up, he's helping out at St. Rose. He's still on the board for River City, which is Longview Babe Ruth. He's just been volunteering, serving as treasurer, any capacity he can serve. So he's one of us. Spent his whole working career at Longview Fiber. He's coached several times, baseball, soccer, football, volunteered countless times, and most recently, we get to baseball season this year, and I got a handful of coaches, and we go to tryouts, and I'm like, oh man, this JV team's going to be a lot of work. We got a lot of characters here. So I'm like, who do I know who's got a very calm, patient presence, good with kids, knows the fundamentals of baseball, can keep a book, can do all that stuff. So I call Mike. And what does he say? Like he does always, he says yes. So he's not only been a really great mentor to me, but also a friend. And I just can't appreciate you enough. So here's Mike to talk about the Central Sandlot.
wonderful to begin, Ryan. Thank you for the kind words. You're right about that JV team. Actually, the thing about that is, and any of you who knows me knows that I never pass up an opportunity to tell a story. When Ryan called, I wasn't sure what to do, and I thought about it, and I went in and I talked to my wife, and I said, you know, if I do that, I'm going to have to give up this other thing. And she said, well, what's the question? Where do they need you the most? I said, it sounds to me like Ryan needs me with the baseball team, so that's what I did. And the other thing I want to mention, Pat, with regard to the Apple Cups, everyone is from somewhere. Keep that in mind. And possibly I'm speaking on behalf of the other Husky fans in the room. I hope I'm not the only one.
There's one other.
Perfect. President Carrie Ann Lyons, thank you for inviting me to give you an update today on Central Sandlot. I hope to be brief, but you've seen already I struggle to do that. In the 2024 season, we registered about 120 kids, which is up from 90 in 2023. So we were very pleased about that. We had as many as 90 kids at the ballpark, and this picture was taken the first night, and that's what 90 kids looks like. If you look carefully, just on the far side of the sign there in the back, you will see Coach Littlefield, because that week he was there with his RA Long summer team, and they helped with the clinic situation. That's something we just cannot do without their help. That day we probably had 200 people in the ballpark, which was a fantastic thing for us. That's something my partner Mike Street, who is actually working today, something the rest of us don't have to worry about, he's very pleased about. It turned out through the year we averaged about 70 kids a night. And frankly, that's a very good number for us. It's easy for us to handle. And so this was very near the end when we had the Kona Ice truck there. Kids loved it. That's the kind of thing that we're able to do because of the support we get from the organizations like the Lions. Oops. Three slides and yeah, fluffed it.
You got it.
Every year we've tried to make an improvement at the ballpark. This is the old major field at Archie Anderson Park. Those of you who are my age remember it as Highland Park. Our project this year was dugout screens. And what we did was we poured a little slab where the dugouts had been. Long ago, the city filled them with pea gravel. Jim Hargrove from Hargrove Fencing donated the 7-foot tall screen that we put up. And then we bought the aluminum benches and had those mounted. The guy who did the concrete, Adam Oliver, made sure that where the posts are bolted in, the concrete is extra deep there, so the anchor bolts got a good purchase. So we had great help getting this thing done. The money that you guys and the other organizations donate to us gave us the funds that we could match the grant that we got from the city for this project. So when you guys think about what you're doing for Central Sandlot, that's the kind of thing you're doing, is helping us make improvements to that ballpark that's there for the neighborhood. A year ago, we mounted a home plate, installed bases, nice, the nice plastic covered bases that you see at any ballpark. And thankfully, all that stuff is still there. It's not been tore up. It's, you know, we have plenty of evidence that the people in the neighborhood are using the ballpark, and that's what we intended. Couple more things about the future. Our board is going to change. We've been associated with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for the last 3 or 4 years through the person of Kane Ulrich. Kane has resigned. His life situation is changing. I wish I could remember what the words he used. The next season of his life, I think, is what he's headed on to. Mike Street and I are having discussions with Tyler Hoagman of Neighborhood Heroes. In fact, as I understand, he was who was supposed to be standing where I am right now, but he had something unavoidable come up. Mike and I are discussing with Tyler to see how our program fits in with his Neighborhood Heroes program that he's getting off the ground down there at Archie Anderson Park. Mike and I, at least, are optimistic this is all going to work out. So at some point, you probably may see all 3 of us up here. My last thing to talk about, the city has demolished the old concession stand there at the ballpark. Actually, from where I took that picture, it's just behind. So my voice keeps coming in and out, I can hear. Is everyone hearing me just fine? Yeah. Okay, thank you. The slab's still there, where the concession stand used to be. Right now, we're storing our stuff between nights of baseball. Down in what used to be the batting cage is now a martial arts studio. We need to get our stuff out of there so it's not in their way. We're gonna spend, I don't know, $4,000 or something on a used storage container from Dry Box up there next to the freeway in Chehalis, and get it set up. We'll get a partition built inside so the city can use half of it and we can use half of it. So that's the next thing we've got going. Except for one more little thing, that's what I have. Does anybody have any questions? I'd love to answer questions about our program, sir.
How many days a week do they play ball?
Our program aims for 6 weeks, 3 days a week. Tuesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, or early evening. We do a clinic-based session. That's where the visiting teams come in. The kids run the sessions with the little kids. The players run the sessions with the little kids. Then on Saturday, it's game day. And Mike and I try to come up with something fresh for the kids to do. Yes?
Mike?
Yes.
All right. I would just like to thank you for keeping this ballpark active. There's several of us in here that raised our children and played at Central Park. So the Pipers, the Pattersons, possibly the Claypool, no, you did Western.
Those guys, yeah.
I was on the board at Central too. Our son, we moved here, our son was at 10, and so that was really the beginning of his serious baseball. We are baseball fans, so very good for you. I just appreciate it so much. Right?
Well, thank you very much. We need to thank Mike Street for the vision. He's the one who pushed so hard on me. We make a good team. He's got the vision, and I take care of the details. And it's a very good team. We work very well together. He coached down there years and years ago. Ryan mentioned my son Sam. He graduated from Central as well, and I coached down there. And I had my turn on the board. So thank you very much for your kind words.
So you're saying that during the winter, there's no vandalism there? That's what you're telling us, right?
I would hate to make such a broad statement, but, because you never know what tomorrow brings. But yes, those vases have been there for a couple of years. You know, it's all good stuff. I actually, when I set home plate, I found there's a fixture buried in the ground that the folks at Central had set somewhere around 2000. And I found it, and home plate is firmly affixed to that. Thank you very much. It ain't going anywhere.
Well, what that proves is what we know, that with the rest of the real estate, if you clean up one house in the neighborhood, pretty soon there's 3. Pretty soon there's 10. Pretty soon it's the whole neighborhood. So that's great.
Well, we're hoping to help set that example.
I have a question. John.
I just wanted to know, your model is teaching kids life lessons through baseball. I kind of got the impression when you both were here last year, whenever it's been, that you had some maybe Christian instruction, not instruction, I don't know what word to use. Values.
And that certainly has been the case during our association with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We had what we called Mountain Time, where, and principally Kane did it, sometimes another minister did it, would talk about a Bible verse, or, you know, and it's not, I was a little worried that it would be overbearing, but it wasn't. It was very much, Jesus loves you, and as a person, you have worth just because you're here. And that's really what we tried to teach the kids, and I thought we did it very successfully. We got 2 questions.
I'd like to make a comment. If anybody hasn't been down at the park and watched Mike and the crew, basically the kids and all their activities, we need to be invited next year to do that. And we handed out lunches, which were all donated, and you guys do a tremendous job.
Well, thank you, Rick.
I'm just curious, I know that the Neighborhood Highlands Association has been doing a lot to really help out and keep the area clean and everything. How much has that had an impact on keeping some of the vandalism out of the park? Has it helped?
You're referring to the HNA's association. Well, they have their clubhouse right across the street on the corner of 21st and Alabama. And I truly do think that because they've got so much going on, and there's, you know, almost always during the day somebody in that building and the door is open, I'm sure that helps. I wish I could remember that woman's name who's running the Highlands Neighborhood Association right now. But Shannon, that's right. She's come over a couple of times, and I know Mike and his wife Patty went down, had a table at Neighborhood Night Out. Yeah, we work with we work with them. They work with us. We stored our stuff in their garage one year. You know. Pat.
My friend Mike, how are you?
I am good. It's really a pleasure to talk in front of a group that's as receptive and supportive of our program. I'm having a good time.
Well, as you and I are both entering whatever season of our lives, I just would like to make sure that you remember to send your request for funding resources to the Longview Pioneer Alliance. And never forget.
Never forget. Absolutely. Thank you all.
positive support do you get from the parents? And do you also get a lot of negative parents there that can be disruptive to your program?
That's about a three-part question. The first part, no, because the first part is, Mike and I both remember the kids that came to the ballpark on their bicycles. And so part of the vision for this thing has always been to be a place for the neighborhood kids to go. We simply have not been able to attract the neighborhood kids the way we'd like to. We keep trying new things. We keep hoping they'll work, and we're really not seeing the success that we would choose to. But as far as negative influences, none. None. Sometimes if we're down there just by ourselves working on the field, somebody will wander across the street and tell stories about how he played ball there 20 or 25 or 50 years ago. And those are great stories to hear. But not as many kids walking up and riding their bicycles to the ballpark as we'd like. Yes?
I have one more question. You mentioned the snack bar was taken down?
No longer with us.
No longer. So is that part of your plan to rebuild something for the snack bar?
No. To begin with, the concession stand was taken down because the building had failed. It just needed to go. I think the city had decided it was no longer to be occupied. There is talk of building some kind of a shade structure that doesn't have a permanent roof, because if it had a permanent roof, it would become a camping spot. And the city is working on that plan. The dry box Connex that I referred to would go at the parking lot into that slab, and it'd be a separate thing. Does that answer your question? Perfect. How'd that go for 10 minutes?
I know.
Well, I told you I had a few minutes to talk, and then I'd answer questions. There have been a lot of questions. I have one more thing before I go. My wife and I like to travel. My wife likes to travel maybe more than I do. We all know how that goes. In May and June, we were in Europe and ended up in Munich while they were celebrating their anniversary as a city. And if I'd had a little more time this morning, I would have looked it up. I think it's well over 700 years. You know, we look around here and think things are old, and we go to Europe and we find out what's old, what old is. So they have this wonderful square in the middle of the city called Marienplatz. And that's where they're having this big festival and everything. And we walk down there, and lo and behold, there's a table for the Lions Club of Munich. And
Did they sign you up?
they did try. But what they did, because just like you guys, Lions everywhere raise money to give it away. And they had a fundraiser. And so I thought, well, thinking of you guys and thinking of your generosity to our Central Sandlot program, I thought, well, I'll buy whatever. And it was €2. And so I gave the guy a €5 note. Oh no, you know, I wouldn't take his change and he wouldn't take the €5 note. So I got 2 of these things, and so I'm going to give this to you, Carrie Ann. What it is it's a raffle. And when you unwrap that, when you pull the little ring off of it and unwrap it, it's got some German words on it which are basically Thanks, but no thanks. Thank you for your help, is what it says in German. If there had been a prize associated with it, I wouldn't have it anymore because I'd have the prize. But anyway, I participated in the Lions Club in Munich's fundraiser with you guys in my mind and in my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you, Mike, and with that, we're going to give you our Longview Pioneers mug to take with you. I don't know if you fought Mike Street over that one last year or not. Who won?
I couldn't tell you. We may discuss things, but we don't fight.
Well, if you have one at home, then he won.
Well, and it does bring back memories. So Mike Street is my cousin, as many of you know. His dad, Uncle Bob, was an avid baseball player, and he was at every game that you can imagine. And so it's kind of brings back his memory too. It's pretty cool to think about. So where we've gone. So thank you so much, Mike. I sure appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
And we have about 5 minutes or less maybe for the Castle Rock Lions. So if someone would like to come up, you have a couple minutes to tell us about what you've got going on.
Hi, my name is Patty Milton, and I am the president of the Lions Club in Castle Rock and the director of the food pantry. Thank you for your support in the last year or two. I've been here a couple times and have seen some familiar faces. You guys know we are in survival mode. Truly, we are down to about 6 active members who come to meetings. And we have about 24 people who help us run the food pantry. But this year, we have a new fundraiser. It is an apple sale. We're participating with Olympia Hosts. They're Fuji apples. It's a pre-order. They're graded, layered, good quality Fuji apples out of Wenatchee. They get delivered October 26th. So Sandra here is going for the top selling trophy. And Marilyn is happy to help us. They get to the 26th, but we're delivering the 27th. So Marilyn is happy to help if anyone wants to order, coordinating to get it here and there. They're $50 for a 40-pound box. Our profit's $10. But at this point in time, every $10 for us means a lot. I just want to say that real quick. So Jan Weatherly from Olympia Host will tell you that Fuji's are super good apples. They store for a very long time. They're good for eating and baking. She's got a sales spill you wouldn't believe. I hoped we would get 10 boxes. That's how small we are. You know, but that's their main fundraiser out there. So if you could talk to Sandra or Marilyn, we'd really appreciate your support as we are just trying to maintain what we're doing. Real quick, on a second note, I have the privilege of serving on the district cabinet this year on the service team for hunger. And you know, I do run a pantry. But I just wanted to put a little plug in. It's September, and there are a lot of teachers who provide snacks for children in their school out of their own pockets. So if you're interested in helping serve hunger, go to your local school and ask them if you can contribute snacks. That would be what I would suggest for September. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you that are ordering today, we'll give Sandra credit for that sale. So you've already got 2. 4.
Okay, so see Sandra after the meeting, and let's see if we can get a couple boxes of apples ordered for us. We've got some announcements. So we'll start with Steve Patterson.
It'll be a brief.
Okay.
It's not in my vocabulary. Thank you very much. Next Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock at the shop, we're doing orientation for new members. It is open to all members, of course, and all interested members. So I'll present that to you as well. Was it Lynn? Yes. Anyway, next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at the shop, orientation. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Hand that mic over to Bob Piper, if you would.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Saturday, we have the Extreme Machine event, while we're selling hot dogs and soda pop chips. We have a sign-up sheet going out tonight, this afternoon. So we need a little help. Cotton candy's going out too. So anyway, that's what's going on Saturday, and we got one more big event after that, and that's pretty much our season. So appreciate your help.
Thank you, Bob. How about Terry Woodruff? We'll play hot potato with that mic.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, yeah, I had a meeting for the awards committee over there underneath that fine looking skeleton. The jail, that's yours.
The jail.
Yeah, right after the meeting, please.
Okay, how about Larry Hansen? We're going to make it easy. There you go.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, I make a plea here as the program chair for the year. I need a couple of volunteers, one for December and one for March.
Okay.
So if you have any interest or any concern, public being entertained and informed, I'd appreciate your help.
Yep. Greg Firth.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, few announcements here. I want to thank everybody that showed up last Thursday. We did the United Way Day of Caring. There were 19 of us over there.
Wow.
We had a blast. And this is our third year over there. And they requested us last year and this year. We do a good job for them, and it saves them a tremendous amount of time for their employees to do what we do for them. Membership apps. I've got membership apps with me. I've got 12 pins back here on the table. You need any of those, come see me please. And all the members that we've been losing, we need to get new members in. We've already had how many deaths this year? Thank you, Carrie Ann.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. And so, right, yes, please. So my reminder is about our evening meeting this Thursday from 6 to 7 at Ashtown. And so we're going to do a monthly evening meeting. It is in addition to, so nothing changes during our regular scheduled Tuesday noon meetings, but we're going to add, just in case there's a potential member or members that have a hard time coming during the day, we're going to do one time per month in the evening. And the first one is going to be this Thursday at Ashtown, 6 to 7. So if you can make it, we'd love to see you all. And it's just really kind of the foundation. So we're going to kind of put together and brainstorm and talk about some things that we want to do on that evening meeting, and hopefully grab a couple new members. Yes, great.
Carrie Ann, I just thought of something else. Bob mentioned we've got the Extreme Machine for kids coming this Saturday. If you haven't been over there to work on that, it is an absolute blast. These kids, to go over there and see all these machines, it's probably the first time and the only time they'll ever get to see them. And they go up and climb on them and touch them and everything else. And Bob's got some special pricing for the hot dogs this year, and pop, black nut, and if we break even, that's fine. We're not over there to make money. We're over there to give them a service. But again, if you've got the time, go over there and help. It's a blast.
Thank you. Nope.
Carrie Ann, fellow Lions. Hey, this morning I emailed out to the club a flyer for Zone 9 meeting, which is going to be on October 2nd. Anyway, so just a reminder that I need to know, or somebody needs to know, I don't, this doesn't necessarily have to be me, but someone has to call the zone chair. Anyway, I need to have a head count, and so, but I have to give that next Wednesday. So think about it for this upcoming week, and on Tuesday we'll just get a final count of who's planning on going. And it's going to be October 2nd at 6 o'clock, Sons of Norway over in West Kelso. They have a pork loin, baked potato, green beans, salad, dessert. It costs $15 if you want to eat there. Guest speaker is going to be Steve Stottinger. So anyway, that's the zone meeting coming up.
Hey, Leroy. Can you make sure you got my email? Because I don't get any of those unless it's the work party.
Well, there's a reason.
John,
there's
a reason. Can't get picky now.
And lastly, for announcements, we had our speaker, Monica, last week, which is now a new member. So we voted her in at the last board meeting. And she has an event tonight. So some of us have already bought tickets, but if you're interested in meeting us tonight, it's at Explorer Brewing at 6 p.m. It's for Belize Blessings, her nonprofit, and will be a fundraiser and things like that. So it'd be good to support our new member for that. Anything else? Yes, Pat.
President Terry, I have no lines to guess. With the passing of Beck, a number of people have given me checks in memoriam of Walt. If you would like to, I'm holding them all until the end of the month so that I just make one contribution. So if you could get that to me by next Tuesday, that would be great. Any amount would serve the memory. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, let's move on to blue tickets. So get your tickets out. We've got a ticket number of 9349550. Any takers on 50? Oh, our guests have that. So wonderful. Okay, so they'll be over with some cards for you to draw. And while that's happening, red ticket is 7279645. Anyone have a red ticket? 645. Oh, Ann's got it. Okay, Ann, tell Pat.
Diabetes.
But okay, darn, 5 apart. And then Pat, Ann said diabetes. Diabetes for the red ticket. And then we'll move on to the back table from Jane.
Yeah, it's been a whole week since
Who was it?
You.
Oh, Mark,
Who knows? Okay, well, you guys, thank you for a successful meeting today. Go out and have a good day.